there's a world where AI isn't a big deal, and there's a world where AI is a big deal.
Yeah.
Are Shanghai and Guangdong in a good position with respect to their fiscal situation? And could they keep funding, top-end semiconductors, AI firms, data centers, even if the poorer provinces don't have the money to fund basic services and so forth? And in the long run, they get advanced AIs, and that's a big uplift to economic growth, and they can just grow their way out of this debt problem.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. I'm a bit skeptical about that for the case of China. But yes, indeed, as you said, some places like Shanghai and Guangdong, they're still in relatively okay fiscal positions. But then there are other sort of wealthier provinces with a lot of debt also. So Zhejiang province, which is where DeepSeek is located actually, and also Alibaba and all these tech companies, they have a high debt load. But because they start from a pretty wealthy place, they can still service the debt without too much difficulty. But actually, the trade war is going to make it worse for Zhejiang province because a lot of the manufacturing export firms are also in Zhejiang. But nonetheless, the case of China is that basically the financial system is geared toward fulfilling the priorities of the party, i.e. the priorities of Xi Jinping. So even if they can't do anything else, they will do the things that Xi Jinping wants them to do. And AI apparently is one of the higher priorities for Xi Jinping because he's held multiple study sessions, he's had different Politburo meetings and so on and so forth. And Ding Xuexiang, who's one of his most trusted lieutenants, is in charge of it, etc.
Right.
So I do expect a fair amount of resources being devoted to it, regardless of the situation in local debt. I mean, in fact, at the local level, things are so bad. But they just don't care, right? So there are civil servants, teachers who are not paid 4 or 5 months out of the year. And then you can say, well, how can you run a government like that? Wouldn't it just collapse? But then you have to look at the outside options. For your teacher, for your very low-level bureaucrat, what option do you have? I mean, do you want to go back to delivering food, to people? Or would you rather at least take 6-7 months of civil service salary? At least you have health care. At least you can get your free lunch at your workplace cafeteria every day. People still choose to work for the Chinese government, even if that were the case. But a lot of the previously very generous fringe benefits and so on and so forth, that has all been cut down because of the local debt issue. But they're still pouring a lot of resources into national defense and AI and technology.
If you enjoyed this clip, you can watch the full episode here and subscribe for more clips. Thanks.